Sure, okay. My name's Alex Gregg. I'm standing as a Conservative candidate in the Tollington ward of Islington. I'm afraid it's just myself. We haven't had enough time for all three of us to get together, so I apologise on their behalf. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the election on May the 6th. Professionally, I'm self-employed and I kind of work helping companies improve their internal communications inside large organisations. I mean, it's usually involving like sort of a new website or a new intranet or something like that. And it's something I really personally enjoy, actually, helping people work together, improving communication in large organisations. Sometimes, opportunities are lost or something is wasted because people just haven't had the chance to get in contact. And it's something I'd actually really like to help the council in a way, and I thought maybe standing as a councillor is a way to achieve that. I see that when you sometimes want to get information from the council, or you're going to their website, or you're trying to tell your friends about something that's going on in Islington, I think it would be really great if there was an easy way of doing this. One of the things that concerns me is kind of visibility of information, like what's going on in the council, especially when the council's trying to make improvements or help people about what's going on. For example, I ride around Islington on my motorbike quite a lot, and I see sort of the damage to the roads, and you hear about the schemes where people can notify, like, oh, I've spotted some damage here and I'd like things to be happening there. And I think that's something where the council could really improve and make people aware of, like, okay, here is repairs that are going on, and if you think there's something else that needs to happen, let us know. It's all about improving communication, really. And I think what happens when you do that is you actually get a chance to save money. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned over the next few years there's going to be a lot of pressure on budgets, and there's maybe not going to be as much money as there's been in the past. And what can that sometimes leads to council rates going up, and I don't think anybody is particularly in favour of that. So I think maybe another perhaps benefit of coming in and helping the council with how to improve their communication and efficiencies in a way, I suppose, is perhaps saving some money and not only letting people know what's going on, but doing it in a way that keeps council rates down too. I guess my priorities would be around improving communication, sort of almost internally within the council, but also between the council and the people. Other things that kind of I like to focus on is sort of what you're doing here with this kind of website is a kind of community type thing where people feel they can actually get up and talk to each other about what's going on, and really supporting that kind of effort I think is something where the council can help. One of the sort of the more, I think, darker sides of Islington is the kind of the street violence you hear about. I mean, I live just above Upper Street, and I'm certainly in the 7 years I've been there, I think maybe 6 or 7 teenagers have basically died on Upper Street. And as much as I love living around here, it's just one of those things that is a bit of a chill. And it's a very complicated issue. There's no sort of single solution to that, but it's certainly something which I think almost everybody would kind of identify with as a kind of a concern. So yeah, I can't say I'm an expert there or I have any answers, but it's certainly something I would certainly look at and see if there's any way I could help in. And I think overall, again, just a feeling of just sort of accountability and responsibility, because sometimes I feel that councils don't necessarily feel much obligation to communicate with or explain why things have been done or whatever. You sometimes find out about something being passed or something happened and it's too late, it's already happened. You're reading the Islington Gazette and some shop's been sold off for redevelopment and you're like, oh, I didn't actually know this. So improving perhaps a bit of accountability as well as along with that improved communication. I moved to London about 7 years ago from Amsterdam. Actually, I've travelled quite a bit. It's something I picked up from my parents because they were big travellers as well. But I've been here 7 years now, and the reason I kind of came to Islington was I actually feel like I'm in a bit of a village here. You wouldn't think you're in virtually the centre of one of the largest cities in the world, but you can kind of walk around and there really is a feel of like your local shops. It's not all high street chains around here as you get in some other London boroughs. You can actually get to know people in your local pub, and it's something. I mean, I love the convenience and the amenities of a large city. I don't think I'd sort of get by without them, but sometimes those large cities can be quite stressful, and living in a place like Islington, and here we are at Finchley Park, you really get to appreciate this sort of feel, this kind of environment, and yeah, that's what I love about Islington. Final thoughts. I guess the main thing I want to get across to people is I know the council is a mixture of a lot of people, a lot of different parties. I think it's 48 seats in total, and I can't go in there, and I would never claim to be someone who could solve all of Islington's problems. But I think I can help, and I think I can bring my experience of working with companies and helping them improve their communications, improve how they communicate with their customers, whatever you want to call us, our people living in Islington, and really kind of help improve the relationship, as it were, get us a better understanding of what's going on in the council and actually understand what we can do in conjunction, because sometimes you feel like a little cut off and the council is just this group of people that make sure the bins get emptied. And I think it's much more than that, but people don't know about it. So I think I can really help on that level, and I think the community side of things as well, like I was saying, I'd really like to sort of help foster that kind of thing where people feel they don't have to wait for some big organisation to come along and do things. People can actually do things themselves. Probably through the website, actually, because if you host the videos on the website, then I can go on there and if one person asks a question, I can, or maybe multiple people have the same question, I can reply through that way. So perhaps comments on the video.